This is Sybert signing into Kane's Wrath on the map Tiberium Rift. Look at those big old Tiberium crystals in the northern position, playing the red. This is, of course, BikeRushOwnz. The Steel Talons guy in the comment is going to be so excited that it's Red Steel Talons versus the orange Black Hand. This is UnderworldFox. Having a very entertaining performance versus Senna. But BikeRushOwnz is a different beast. So can UnderworldFox bring the same level of entertainment? Maybe that Senna game was messy. Maybe it wasn't the highest level play, but it was entertaining nonetheless. And of course here, BikeRushOwnz, he's going to be playing Steel Talons, something that he has won with a huge amount. And even though Steel Talons is, you know, historically maybe the losingest faction of Kane's Wrath, that's changed a lot in the last 5 years, especially with the 1.02 plus community patch. Things have been very different. Steel Talons not nearly what they once were 15 years ago on release, that sort of thing. 17 years ago. Oh my. Okay. Nope. Not quite 18. We're getting there. Almost legal adult age. You know, at least in my country. I guess other places are different. But don't think about it. Don't think. Just focus on the entertainment factor. Because, of course, we've got Purifying Flame. The potential of more Purifying Flame. That's like literally one of the reasons why I checked out that game in the last time, was because of the opportunity of Purifying Flame. It's an entertaining upgrade. It's something that I love to see. And you know, we have Chrono Clash. We have stuff that's more serious where people don't want to do goofy things. Go for mutants. Get upgrades that are very expensive. You know, we want to see different things. Double War Factory. Don't like that. Double War Factory off of one base here for UnderworldFox. He's up to 5 harvesters, pumping out a number of bikes. Bike did see this, so he's got the MRTs. He's got a couple of rockets inside of these MRTs. Watchtower as well deployed. 2 more MRTs coming down. He's at the full 5 squad, and then the pause happens on that War Factory. So no more production for just the moment. 6 harvesters are now out with the refinery at the natural expansion, and BikeRushOwnz is going to have to split his forces north and south to defend against this aggression. He did see it coming. He spotted it long ways off. He knows what is up. And so oftentimes we see the nod player, shark to the north, shark to the south, looking, hunting for his prey, and then they just swing back and kill off the Tib Spike because that's the only easy target to go for. And then, of course, steal the blue Tiberium behind it. Almost always a good move as you're getting your natural expansion up and running. Not the super fast blue Tib take, but to step out on the map with a little bit of aggression and then take the blue Tiberium behind it. Dive onto the harvester. First harvester down below half HP. MRT's coming in. Watchtower here as well. Down to a quarter HP. That's 1 dead harvester. BikeRushOwnz 8 harvesters versus the 9 of UnderworldFox. And it will be a couple of bikes escaping. A couple of bikes end up going down there. But overall, everything turns out fine. Not huge losses on either side. And BikeRushOwnz was faster to 1 refinery at the natural. Maybe he's also faster to 2 refineries at the natural. But in any case, they're going to be okay. BikeRushOwnz hasn't taken so much damage that he will be completely destabilized from that. His income, 11k per minute. 1k over in terms of total resources gathered. 1k over his opponent. So we're doing just fine. UnderworldFox, you know, he is not running away with anything. He is up now 10 harvesters versus just the 9. A lot of players will hold off at 9. And, oh, jumping on the MRTs right as they're getting picked up. This is a vulnerable moment, but most of the MRTs have survived. There's the pummel as one MRT goes down. Bikes are going to be able to do a bit of damage to the MCV. We love our M-based initialisms or acronyms here as MRT, MCV all coming into play. The APC is, of course, a different beast, but another buggy ended up going down. Harvester in the middle. I think it was spotted by BikeRushOwnz. Flying MRTs are going to be circling around to the north. BikeRushOwnz looking for his third, but at the same time, keeping an eye on his opponent's third. Harvester actually going to take some damage. Will get hunted by these MRTs. The hunter becomes the hunted, and that is now an even Harvester game. Snipes the blue Tiberium Harvester, taking him down 9-9 for just a moment, but BikeRushOwnz, now with a refinery on his third base, is up 10-9. Overall, the players staying very even with each other. Bikes pushing forward, lots of bikes, lots of buggies here, but also buying lots of time for BikeRushOwnz to reform his front line. AP Ammo has finished up. That's a fully heroic rocket inside of one of those MRTs. As the bikes back off, they do have to be careful of that rocket. The MRT is still low health when it's flying around inside of that aux transport. You got to still be careful, but a couple of behemoths are making their way out onto the field. And where is the Reclamator hub? It should be somewhere out on the field. Tibcore missiles back up and running. This is going to be some dead MRTs. One shot lands, but the others survive. Behemoth goes down as this buggy swarm masses on top of this base. One shot comes in. Behemoth from the low ground getting his shot off downtown, but the Orca Strike misses. One bike left over, forgotten for just a moment there, as both players staying in lockstep on economy. Third base up and running for UnderworldFox. He's just matching BikeRush at every moment and every move. MRT sneaking off. Okay, it was a deploy your unit kind of transfer. As the MRTs are back on the ground, Hammerhead shows up. Hammerhead gets shot down as the Harvesters get rushed upon. Even the Marv Reclamator hub on the field gets spotted pretty quickly. Marv has started laser fenced immediately. A couple of shots come out as the bikes end up going down, and BikeRushOwnz, he loses 3 Harvesters there. 2 or 3 Harvesters at the third base. Natural now set upon as the Hammerheads continue to go down. Raider buggies have their EMP coils, but they don't have their lives. Tibcore missile may actually kill off this Harvester. The shots come in. They don't find the bikes, but it doesn't matter. The bikes didn't have enough time to fire the shots and get that last Harvester. It is 8 Harvesters to 11. More time is needed for UnderworldFox, as he has the income advantage. He doesn't necessarily have it if the Marv comes out and overstays his welcome. BikeRushOwnz has built his tech, he's built his army, and now with the Marv out on the field, the last step might just be a slow crawl across the map with behemoths shredding everything, hiding behind that Marv. We've seen it many times before, and we'll see it perhaps again. Are 2 of these bikes missing the Tibcore upgrade? Is this like decoy bikes? Their coloration is wrong. Oh no, they're just heavily damaged. The heavily damaged bikes don't show the Tibcore green on the back. And that watchtower targeting, very nice. Lights up the 2 low health bikes in an instant. It kills them. Just flash and they're gone. And then the other bike goes as well. So that was basically maximum effective time for that watchtower. Got the most amount of kills possible that it could. Redeemer now out on the field. Again, UnderworldFox just staying in sort of chasing distance to BikeRushOwnz. The Marv came out first, but it doesn't really matter. It didn't move across the map before the Redeemer was out. Oftentimes, Nod players do like to get their Redeemer out nice and early, but you can't do like the stealthy Rage Gen as you can with some of the other Nod factions. Blackhand, they do have to rely a little bit more on their raw firepower, not their stealthy tactics. And as a result, you know, normally NOD players like getting that Redeemer out. They like chipping away at their opponent's army with Rage Gen, but you can't do that as well with Black Hand. Harvester goes down in the middle. BikeRushOwnz taking a bit of damage on that blue Tiberium Harvester, and it's going to be a little bit of manpower on both sides as the infantry army leads the way for BikeRushOwnz and for UnderworldFox. Both players playing to the strengths of the infantry, and that's going to be a dead behemoth. The reinforcement train gets cut off there as these players split up the map. BikeRushOwnz carves through the third base of UnderworldFox, and UnderworldFox looking to break up the reinforcement train, looking to hunt engineers, and even going to be forcing the sell-off of that barracks as well. The Marv turning around, heading back home as the Harvesters get wasted by this army. They get just smashed. It's not quite a fair fight. 3 Spectres off to the right find the behemoths clumped up. A couple of shots land, but not enough to knock anyone down. UnderworldFox calls off the attack, swings his army back around. Engineers coming out from BikeRushOwnz to reclaim some of those husks as the Tib core missiles find their mark. Wolverines and behemoths alike getting shot up and put in the ground by the Tib core terrors on the loose from the Black Hand player. Hammerheads finally able to stick around in some number for BikeRushOwnz. And oh boy, do we have Purifying Flame out on the field? No, we don't. We have Purifiers, but no Purifying Flame. Another behemoth ends up going down. The march continues for BikeRushOwnz, but his army has been whittled away at, chipped down, and eventually it will be bled dry as the Wolverine fights with its last dying breath. He will try to get another kill, but there's husks left on the ground, and the Harvesters are under threat from the Hammerheads. They're not sniping husks up north, they're killing Harvesters down south. BikeRushOwnz has pulled back entirely to his base, and one by one, the husks are being recovered. Hammerheads may need to swing up north. They may need to find an angle to knock down those behemoths, which have turned tail and switched sides. They fight for the Messiah now. They fight for the NOD player. As UnderworldFox has moved his MCV off to the left, Shockwave Artillery ready to fire off. Will it actually catch the Redeemer? It does, but the Purifiers strike far forward, and it's going to be up to the Hammerheads to clear out the infantry hordes. No, they don't even care. They're just continuing to pour damage into this Marv. The Purifiers run away, and finally the rockets will be stopped now that the Redeemer is dead and the Marv is down to 10% HP. It goes down to the shots of the behemoths fired from downtown, from off screen. They find their mark. The Purifiers closing in fast. Stomp, stomp. Daddy's home, and he's brought a flamethrower for dinner. It's one for all and all for the floor, as I don't know who's going to win this fight, but eventually the flames will roar forward and 2 of the behemoths fall, and everything else just stands tall. The Purifiers go down, the 3rd behemoth is eliminated, and the real fire is once again from off screen. The turncoat behemoths on the side of the Black Hand. They'll be dealt with our friends from the air. The guns that don't stop, the Hammerheads are there. Once again, the husks are turning sides. This time, Purifiers in the control of BikeRushOwnz. Not something that you want to see if you're the guy playing Black Hand. UnderworldFox has taken back his old 3rd base. He's maintained a little bit of economy here at his main, despite all of the damage from the Harvesters, despite all of the kills earlier on. Be careful not to crush those husks, as there are more engineers coming out. 1, 2, 3, 4 husks on the ground here, which could be reclaimed. That's a lot of cash to be put into the army, and BikeRushOwnz definitely wants to keep these if he can. 2 husks were unclaimed. 2 behemoths not in the fight. If 2 more engineers had been produced by UnderworldFox, what would the difference have been? Two upgraded power plants left undefended there on the left. Engineer does not get sniped. He'll make it into that behemoth, but blue Tiberium being stolen away here by UnderworldFox, and he's going to pick off a power plant far away from the army. He's able to snipe it down and then run away. Fresh refinery onto the front line. 2 refineries here for BikeRushOwnz. He's kind of corralled into a corner. UnderworldFox has spread out a little bit here and a little bit there. Double war factory and all of these tiny locations spread around the map. The husk goes down and the engineer is left jobless. The Tib spike from the beginning of the game, never taken down, never switched hands. Until now, at the 16-minute mark, it will be knocked down, I guess, once and for all. Harvester gets sniped. BikeRushOwnz, he's down to 7. It seems like he's in the worst position, but how many times have we seen BikeRushOwnz in a terrible position, and he still manages to bring it back? UnderworldFox has done a tremendous job of staying equal with BikeRushOwnz in virtually every way, staying even on with him on economy and army all throughout this game. And now Bike is in low power mode. The Purifier's marching forward. Tib Core is a good upgrade for a reason. As the buggies get shredded, the Wolverines get worn thin. Charged particle beams will add extra damage to these shredder turrets and allow them to do more to hold this line. The behemoths should be shredding this base, but it's taking so long. It's buying so much time for UnderworldFox, and BikeRushOwnz is just going to pack up his MCV and head for the hills. He needs to hold on to $3 grand in his bank account, or pretty close to it. He can sell off some buildings down south. He can get some cash back in his pocket if he needs to. The strength is in his army, protecting his MCV and keeping him in this game. Refinery's going to go down. Third base has been dealt with. Harvesters hunted a little bit by that hammerhead earlier on, and now the rest of the base will be cleaned up. Bike needs to sell this stuff off. He does have something constructing. He needs to sell off one of these refineries and keep perhaps the power plant around, or sell that off as well. And yeah, UnderworldFox, he can't deal with this hammerhead very easily. He has the firepower. BikeRushOwnz, is he gonna take like a blue Tiberium refinery? What's the plan here? He's got enough cash. Okay, he deploys it there in the north. Harvester moving around. Bike can now recall all of his harvesters to this one refinery, kind of bring them all back home to roost. That one harvester hiding in the corner. Purifier making his way out to the right side. One random Purifier, although if UnderworldFox spots this, this is a husk that can be grabbed. He can snipe that. And will the husk go down? No, the hammerhead goes down. One good shot is all it takes sometimes. And UnderworldFox isn't going to chance it. He's got one refinery on the other side. He's got an upgraded power plant as well. 2 upgraded power plants. And BikeRushOwnz should not be leaving those upgraded power plants open. This harvester completely exposed, but UnderworldFox doesn't see it. He doesn't jump on it. He could get a kill there. Eliminate that one harvester and eliminate all of that blue Tiberium income. Into the corner goes the harvester, and he's chased away by the not purifying flames, just the regular flames of that flame tank. Purifier will now go down once again, and the husk gets targeted immediately. Does take a moment to actually die, though. There's something about the husks falling, like the animation or the way the game handles that just plays a little bit weird. Flame tank has been spotted, so at the very least, UnderworldFox, you know, he has been seen. BikeRushOwnz knows about that. These heavy harvesters are kind of just heavy scouts for BikeRushOwnz. He technically has 6 harvesters, but he's got 2 refineries, and they're all in this very central location. He's got to try and bring things back from this place, as both players almost exactly the same amount of income, total resources harvested for this game. It's crazy how close they have kept it this entire time. despite being two different factions and spreading all over this map. UnderworldFox is rebuilt. He's got fewer refineries, but he's got more tech and he's got more production, perhaps, with the war factory up sooner for UnderworldFox. Bike's economy has powered him in many games, and it looks like it'll do that again. He is very wary of what is going on the other side of the map. He probably wants to get back up to aircraft now that he's got the war factory up, now that he's got a decent amount of Tiberium under his control, going for aircraft for their maneuverability around the map, maybe even transporting an engineer over there to capture that Tiberium spike, that sort of thing would be useful. I don't see a briefcase at the bottom there, so I think that is a safe Tiberium spike to take. You can deny your opponent the income and then also get that for yourself. First flame tank has been spotted out there. Radar jamming missile fires off, but the second flame tank is perhaps where the story is. Bikes roaming past the front line. Flame tank coming in from the right. Wolverine returning to base as well. This is just a lot of buildings to knock down. It would be different if he had Purifying Flame, but no such luck just yet. UnderworldFox, his economy has recovered as well. 20 minutes in, it might as well be 4 minutes into the game. That's what this is looking like. 5 harvesters between both of these players. They're equally matched in that regard, and BikeRushOwnz feeling safe enough to step out onto the battlefield. He never got railguns. 10 minutes ago, he could have potentially gotten railguns, and the attack is here. The first wave is going to be Bike Buggy as they swarm in. That's going to be some dead harvesters as the watchtowers are here to buy time, but it's not going to be enough time because flame tanks kill everything faster. Flame tanks are going to burn through this base, and the MCV has already escaped off to the left side where the rest of the army is. These two players will trade positions once again. The harvesters getting knocked down one by one. The Titan needs to go for the crush here as the watchtowers get eliminated. The last target standing is the Titan in the base of BikeRushOwnz. Harvesters getting left forgotten by both players even as the behemoths continue their march. The Wolverines really the only other component of this game, and BikeRushOwnz channeling his inner degenerate sends an outpost or a surveyor off into the corner so that he can maintain, even if everything else dies, he can maintain his control of his army. His MCV on the move again. He might actually want to stay at this base. It's got way more Tiberium than the one in the south. But maybe he doesn't want to stop moving. Flame tank into the corner. It's a double vet flame tank, and it might accidentally find this surveyor. I don't think UnderworldFox saw the surveyor escaping out. He did have some units roaming around the MCV of Bike, but I don't think he actually saw it. Bike heading to the south. Surveyor in the corner, unpacked into an outpost, and the flame tank will find it. Down in the south, playing Ring Around the Rosie, the two factions don't find each other just yet. That's the insurance policy gone. BikeRushOwnz deploys a power plant, and that's all he has cash for. He didn't get enough from anywhere else. He doesn't have enough with his Tib Spike. He wasn't able to grab a Tib Spike, so now his only real hope is, like, you know, selling his MCV and capturing his opponent's MCV kind of a thing. He needs some real wonkiness to try and pull something out from this game. Rifleman chasing that flame tank down, and UnderworldFox, he just needs to run and hide. He needs to buy time and survive. He's got enough cash for another refinery. He can deploy over here on the right side, but then he'll have to build a power plant. He'll have to rebuild some of that infrastructure to be able to do anything other than build a refinery. Power plant got cleaned up back there. Purifier from, I don't know, 5-10 minutes ago. MCV doesn't get jumped on. It's going to be up to the behemoths. Every behemoth that dies is essentially a real kill just because BikeRushOwnz doesn't have the economy to support anything else. He can't actually build anything. As you can see, his income per minute, which is a calculated over like a 3-minute average, is now dwindling. So this is essentially BikeRushOwnz hasn't been with income for 3 minutes is what that is now indicating as it falls to 0. It is completely zeroing out. Harvester is there. BikeRushOwnz still has his MCV moving around. AP ammo, such an incredible upgrade, and it's been so powerful in this game. Another bike goes down. Wolverine's trying to protect this behemoth. Shots firing off, and the MCV has once again moved. 3 grand is secured for UnderworldFox. The behemoths are just slower. The harvesters can run for the hills, and BikeRushOwnz, he's getting more kills on the army. He now loses that husk. He might as well kill it. As the harvester of BikeRushOwnz, if only he had a rifleman or a rocket inside of that harvester, he could chase the MCV to the ends of the earth with it. And the harvesters aren't running. UnderworldFox is throwing it in, so to speak. Okay, now he's running. But I thought maybe he was just going to say, like, all right, let's fight it out, my army versus your army. And he was going to try and out-micro this Steel Talon's army. Okay, BikeRush's harvester goes down. The power plant is in the north. The Wolverine's rushing forward. Always the danger of a flame tank lurking from behind. BikeRushOwnz may have lost track of some of these flame tanks earlier on, and the Tib Spike has now been eliminated. That source of infinite cash now removed from UnderworldFox, who is slowly gaining on the total resources gathered tab a big advantage over BikeRushOwnz. Bike without income for more than 3 minutes now. He's got a pretty serious army advantage in theory, but of course it all depends on if that MCV goes down. The army doesn't matter if the MCV gets caught out of position on the move and can be sniped. Once again, the economy of both players just barely hanging on. The crane deployed out here. There's so much cash in these harvesters. As long as he gets enough uptime, UnderworldFox will be able to refine enough for yet another refinery. He'll be able to spend what cash he has, which I think he can finish. Oh, the crane! The crane is going to get canceled. Oh, he sells it. He gets 182, and it's not enough. He doesn't have enough for a refinery. And now it is actually about the army, because now there isn't an opportunity to just keep running forever and ever. He's going to have to, like, build a power plant and a barracks, and then, I guess, sell the power plant and maybe the MCV and crank out just, like, as many infantry as he can, and then he's just going to have a barracks. But both players moving their MCVs now around the map without enough cash to actually rebuild anything. You can get a power plant, you can get yeah, BikeRushOwnz can't really build anything anymore. He could start building something, but you can't get anything. And now UnderworldFox is basically in the same position, so it's just about who catches the other one's MCV. Oh, the double vet flame tank walking right into a wall of Wolverines. The behemoths find the shot first. Wolverine goes into the corner. BikeRushOwnz may kind of remember that other flame tank that was roaming around the map. Oh, it gets found as well. The Wolverines, 2 of them end up going down, traded back for that flame tank. And both players now have 607 units, but 0 value for them. One harvester down. The harvesters don't really matter anymore, since he can't get out a refinery to actually refine the Tiberium. What is his plan here? He didn't have anything else queued. Man, if he would have canceled that refinery, the crane, earlier and sold it off, then I think... Man, imagine, or like... He's missing like $13. Yeah, he's missing $13 or something from building that refinery. So now he's just in the corner, and one lonely Wolverine The bikes and the buggies are leading this army on a merry chase. That bike so close to death. It is just a very low health army. I mean, it's a low health army anyways. The MCV is now caught in the corner. It can't really move. And, you know, repairing it doesn't really do you any good either. He's going to go for a power plant and then maybe a hand of Nod. And, yeah, I guess you build a couple of rockets. MCV on the move. MCV. Oh, no, BikeRushOwnz, I think he spots it. He spots it. The MCV doesn't get forgotten. The shot lands. Wolverine picks off one of the bikes. Tibcore missile is a good upgrade, but it's just not good enough as the Wolverine gets the kill with the help of his big brother Behemoth, and the Wolverine cleans out the rest of these infantry. Hand of Nod is good, but I think the Behemoths can just shell the base from a distance, right? Is he going to try and rush him with the rockets to try to close the distance? He's got the upgrades, but there's the Hand of Nod targeted and knocked down. UnderworldFox within an inch of glory, within a foot of defeating BikeRushOwnz in an incredibly wild base trade swap here on Tiberium Rift. Ends up falling just short as BikeRushOwnz plays the chase and ends up catching the mouse. That'll do it for this video. Thank you all very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed it, and this is Sybert signing out.